Habanero honey garlic isn't necessarily a difficult thing to make. It's actually pretty easy. The only tedious part is you have to peel a whole head of garlic. Kind of a pain in the ass, but it's definitely worth it. You do have to wait a little bit for it, but trust me, it is super worth it. Really simple to make. I let this ferment in the pantry for about a month, so you gotta kind of wait. The habanero honey garlic, of course, it's habanero, so it's a little bit of spicy, a little bit of sweetness to it, right? So we have habanero in here, a cinnamon stick, a whole head of garlic that's been peeled, lightly smashed. Goes good on just about anything, but today I'm gonna be making a baked chicken thigh recipe. Has a good spice rub on it, and we're gonna be making a lime and honey glaze for it too. This honey right here.
So the first step we need to do is separate the cloves from the entire head of garlic. Give the garlic a light smash on the cutting board and remove that outer papery layer. I also like to trim off the root end. I'm tossing in 3 habaneros, so grab the habanero and remove that stem. Now you want to slice the habaneros into thin slices about 1/4 of an inch thick. I do actually recommend wearing rubber gloves when touching hot peppers. In a pint-sized mason jar, chuck in the cinnamon stick, the garlic cloves, and the habaneros.
The honey that you want to use, if you have access to local honey, that's probably the best. Otherwise, just buy some honey at the store that is raw, that is unfiltered. This is raw, 100% pure, natural, uncooked honey. Unblended, unfiltered, and undiluted.
Now we grab that honey and pour it into the mason jar with the cinnamon stick, the garlic, and the habaneros. If you place the honey in some warm water, it will actually loosen up the honey and make it more pourable. Using a spoon, gently stir the ingredients up to get them fully coated with the honey. Fill up that jar with the honey just to the bottom of that thread.
So you need to leave a little bit of headspace in the jar. I'll show you why in a second. The first week and a half, every day you need to loosen this cap. Release some of that pressure that's in that jar. And then I like to swirl the ingredients around. I mean, you can see how much thicker that is as compared to this, right? Every day after you release the pressure in the jar and mix these around and make sure all those ingredients are getting coated with that honey. That's a very important step too. If you need, you could put that lid on tightly and then just put it upside down just like that for a day. Whenever you want to release the pressure in there, you flip the jar the other way around, loosen the cap off, and then release that gas. It's pretty easy. Find a spot on your countertop or in your pantry like I was describing earlier. Make sure you're away from direct sunlight. The most favorable temperature range that I found is about 68 to 75 degrees. Luckily, my pantry stays about that temperature no matter what time of day, no matter what time of year. It's a nice little pocket that is pretty consistent with that temperature range. I have a spot in my pantry that is specifically designated for lacto fermentation projects, you know, fermenting honey garlic. I have a lot of peppers that are always fermenting because I make a hell of a lot of hot sauces, you know. This stuff that has been fermenting for a month, the garlic's nice and soft. Oh, I guess it tastes like honey. And then you get that heat from the pepper. And you can taste that cinnamon there. That's so good. I mean, that's not too terribly spicy too, so you could pop one of those cloves of garlic in there, one of those habaneros. It's not gonna kill your mouth, right? Evidently, this stuff is really good for you too. I'm not gonna go into detail with that. You could do your own research on that if you want to. All right, so for the chicken part, I'm going to make a seasoning blend for it.
The ingredients will also be listed in the description box below.
3 tablespoons of fine sea salt, tablespoon each garlic powder, onion powder. I have a tablespoon each chili powder, paprika, 1 teaspoon ground coriander, 1 teaspoon cumin, and lastly, black pepper. That was about 12 turns worth on my pepper mill. Otherwise, you could do about half of a teaspoon or something like that. Incorporate those ingredients. I love making seasoned salts. I mean, salt and pepper is fine. But why not kick it up a level from where you're at with a nice seasoned salt, right? That's my philosophy in life. I don't think that needs anything else. I like it. So in a mixing bowl, I'm gonna put 4 chicken thighs in. About a tablespoon's worth of oil goes into the mixing bowl. I'm gonna go pretty generously with the seasoned salt. I like making big batches of seasoned salt also because I like using it for just more than one time, you know what I mean? Mix it up, make sure that you're all evenly coated with the oil and the seasoning. So I have this casserole dish that I'm gonna use. It's nice and heavy duty, cast iron. It's gonna hold a lot of heat. which is what you want. Skin side up on these chicken thighs.
When placing the chicken thighs into your baking vessel, make sure that they're not overlapping one another, and wrap the baking dish with aluminum foil.
So this is gonna go in the oven for the first 20 minutes, preheated oven, 425 degrees, that's Fahrenheit. I'm gonna remove the foil, put a glaze on it, and then chuck it back in the oven for another 10 minutes until it's fully cooked, right? For this glaze, I'm gonna start with the zest of an entire lime.
When zesting limes, be very careful not to get down to that white pith part, as it has unfavorable flavors. Squeeze each lime into a bowl over a fine mesh strainer.
I'm gonna grab like 4 or 5 of these cloves.
I'm also going to grab about 5 slices of the habanero. Of course, this is all to taste, as the honey really reduces the spiciness of the pepper.
Since this is gonna be a lime and honey glaze, of course we need to have some honey in there.
I'm pouring about 1 cup's worth of the honey into that bowl. Place the habanero and the garlic into a pile and give it a very rough chop. Now you want to place the chopped garlic and habanero into that bowl. Give it a thorough mix to incorporate all those ingredients. I love this as a glaze. It has such a fantastic flavor and definitely has some spice to it.
I almost want a little pinch of salt in there, some pepper too. And it's just missing a little something.
Of course, you could add a little bit more salt, a little bit more lime juice to this. You know, kind of just depends on your taste.
That salt helped liven up that lime juice and that honey in there. That's so good. That's a perfect balance. Oh, that smells so good. So a couple spoonfuls of this lime honey glaze. I want to temp this, get a good idea of where it's at. 135 degrees, so another 15 minutes should do it pretty good in the oven.
Before placing the chicken back into the oven, baste the top of it with that glaze.
All right. Oh, yeah, buddy. That looks proper.
The chicken should temp to 165 degrees in the thickest part.
Before we do cut into this and plate it, you need to let these things rest for about 10 minutes. Cut into the chicken now, the juices are just gonna go all over the fucking place, right? And that, my friend, is a delicious plate of chicken. We need to dig in. That glaze definitely gave the chicken a fantastic flavor. Taste all those ingredients. You can taste the garlic. The habanero gives the chicken a nice little hit to it. It's sweet from the honey, and the lime juice kind of just helps pull it all together. It's a delicious, delicious plate of chicken. Good flavor, nice and tender. Chicken's nice and moist. So after you get done watching this video, and possibly the next one, go to the store and get yourself some ingredients. Make this dish. You can thank me later.